Alright, as I suspected a couple minutes ago, we did pass over the westernmost point in Brunei, and we are now out over the sea on the north central coast of Borneo Island, shared by Indonesia, Malaysia, and then these two tiny pieces that make up Brunei. So that last big town that we passed is called Kuala Belait.
Would you like to have a glass of wine?
Could I have a Singapore Sling, please? Thank you. My lunch has already been delivered while I was finishing the last video as we went over Kuala Belait. Extremely prompt service. I guess they know this flight is so short. Only an hour 18, the monitor says, to touchdown in Singapore. And it looks like everything's come out all on one tray here from express dining. Getting into the clouds now, so not too much to see. We're also out over the sea, but so that was Kuala Belait. And then there's another town we went by called Syria. Oh my gosh. Well, let me try this big cracker. Yes. Yes, why not? We'll make a space for it. No problem. All right, thank you. Okay, Syria was the other big western town that we passed by. That little airport I saw, I guess that must be at the Nduki airport. I don't think they have any commercial flights. There's no domestic flights in Brunei, but Shell Brunei, the major oil company, they probably use that for their corporate jets. So goodbye to Brunei. I was there for 11 full days, which I did not expect to spend in such a small place. 6 days courtesy of Air Asia, but it was a wonderful time. Everything except for the experience with Air Asia was just fantastic. So here you can see the map of Brunei. It's kind of a very odd little micro country, divided into two parts. The main section with 3 districts, equivalent of states, is over here. And then you have, so there's about 430,000 people that live in the main, quote-unquote, mainland Brunei. And then you have this sliver of the country that is separated by a few miles of the Limpang division of Malaysia. And this is the Tamborong district, and these pins here are where I went last week to Ulu Tamborong National Park. Oh, here comes my Singapore Sling. Thank you so much. It's nice to enjoy a drink after being in Brunei for 11 days. Brunei is a dry country. The sale of liquor is prohibited. There is a customs provision. Oh, it's quite tasty. There is a customs provision that non-Muslim foreigners are allowed to import a certain amount of bottles of beer or bottles of spirits for their own personal consumption in their own private residence or hotel. But there is no sale of liquor allowed in the country. Alright, so now we are on a almost due west heading to Singapore. Changi Airport, now 666 miles away. And I was just trying to figure out, like, obviously we're in the sort of the westernmost edge of the Pacific Ocean here, but my map labels this the South Sea, but I think we would generally call this the South China Sea. And they have the East China Sea up here, the Philippine Sea. But this is kind of the you know, unofficial line that delineates the Indian Ocean from the Pacific Ocean. So getting about as far west as you possibly can in the Pacific Ocean. I guess Singapore, and then this which island is this? Sumatra, right? Sumatra Island, Indonesia. Those are about the westernmost places in the Pacific you can go. If you go through this strait or down by Jakarta here, then you passaged from the Pacific Ocean into the Indian Ocean. So, all right, well, I'm going to enjoy my lunch. Oh, hitting a little bit of turbulence as we head out here over the South China Sea, southwest to Singapore. So this is a very beautiful menu I was presented here in business class, celebrating the 70th anniversary of Singapore Airlines. Actually did not realize that the airline has been in existence for that long. It's this month too. Indulge in a specially prepared menu for our platinum anniversary in May 2017. Oh, refresh your taste buds with number 70, a welcome drink inspired by local flavors created by famed cocktail curator Sunday Punch. Is that the person's name? Sunday Punch? That sounds like a cocktail, not the name of a mixologist. Enjoy a selection of 70 all-time favorite main courses. And round up your culinary journey on a sweet note. The 70 surprise, an enticing medley of tropical fruits awaits. Ah, so the birthday was actually May 1st. Ah, if I had flown 4 days ago, I would have gotten birthday cake. Just barely missed it. So before I eat, I just wanted to go over what the meal service is here. Quite a nice meal for a short regional flight. Light lunch, they call it, from Bandar Seri Begawan to Singapore. So the appetizer is marinated prawn salad with grilled vegetables and sun-dried tomato. Looks quite good. For the main course, I chose the Florentine-style cod and seafood coulis with sautéed spinach and potato gnocchi. The other main course options were stir-fried chicken and aringi mushrooms with Chinese vegetable and egg noodles, or the 70th birthday customer favorite beef rendang, a popular Singaporean dish of spiced braised beef with vegetables in coconut gravy and turmeric rice, which also sounded good, but I've had pretty much every meal with rice lately, so I thought something a little different would be good. So dessert is Chinese style mango pudding with fresh mangoes and cream. From the bakery, assorted bread rolls and gourmet bread served with a selection of butter or flavored olive oil, and a wide selection of coffee and tea and beverages are available. There's pages about their wine connoisseurs, champagne and wine selections, cocktails and aperitifs. So I am enjoying a Singapore Sling, the 1915 classic, a concoction of dry gin, Dom Benedictine orange liqueur, cherry brandy, shaken with lime and pineapple juice, a dash of Augusta bitters, and grenadine, a must-have in Singapore, and it is quite good. They've also got Bloody Mary, screwdriver, Grand Pineapple Daiquiri. Oh wow, that sounds very good. I might have to try that on my next flight to Bangkok, which unfortunately is also going to be very short. Or maybe they'll have the Grand Pineapple Daiquiri in the Silver Chris business class lounge. That'll have about 3.5 hours to relax in between flights. Cuba Libre, Owl Spritzer, a sparkling mix of vodka shaken with apple juice and 7-Up, Silver Chris Sling. Wow, this is the best airline cocktail menu I have ever seen by far. That is fantastic. It is such a shame I'm not going to have more time to sample these. And then you've got your list of spirits, liqueurs, beer, mocktails. Yes.
Would you like to have a cup of coffee or tea?
No, thank you. She was asking if I wanted coffee or tea, which I do not. Non-alcoholic beverages. They do serve Coke. Good. Not Pepsi. They use Illy gourmet coffee, the same that United Airlines uses. Oh, and then there's specialty coffees, tea selection, in-house tea selection. Oh, they have peppermint herbal infusion tea, a natural caffeine-free brew with a refreshingly fragrant taste. The healing powers of peppermint help relieve nervous tension, ease stomach ailments, alleviate insomnia, and aid weight loss. Oh, I might have to try that actually. All right, well, what a nice menu for what is scheduled as. Gosh, I'm trying to remember what the scheduled arrival time is. 11:55 was a departure. I can't remember right now what the scheduled arrival is, but it's something like 2.5 hours gate to gate, although maybe 2:15. Announced flying time was 1:45 and the monitor was indicating even less. We're showing a arrival time now on 1:36, which is in 1 hour and 6 minutes. So that would put us most likely into the gate less than 2 hours gate to gate. All right, well, I better eat before we know what we're going to be descending to land. And I want to eat and then have a little nap and test out the flatbed business class seat here on the Singapore 777-300. Now, this is not one of their newer business class seats. On their new planes, like the Airbus 350, like many carriers, they're adopting the 1-2-1 across seating, so every customer has aisle access. This is an older 2-2-2 configuration. So here at my window seat, if this were a full flight and a long flight and the person next to me were reclined in flatbed mode and sleeping, then I would have to climb over the stranger to get to the aisle, which is always a little bit awkward and one of the biggest complaints from business class passengers. So newer aircraft are typically coming with the 1-2-1 style. Okay, well, let's chow down here and scroll through the in-flight entertainment system on my fuzzy monitor that clearly needs to be fixed or repaired.